All right. There it is. Steak bone. Yeah, I know. That's good, right? Yeah, I know. The bad daddy. I didn't give you the bone when I had it that day. Although you did get steak. What's that? What's that? Yeah, you're just going to ignore that? You don't like being filmed when you're eating. I don't blame you, buddy. I don't like that either. He did get steak on our anniversary. But I put the bone in the freezer for the next day. And then I forgot about it. And today I gave it to him, so I don't think he cares, but that's not what I wanted to talk about. I thought I'd do a quick little video here. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay. Well, it's hotter than hell here. Wanted to make mention, or I did mention it in the other video, that I was getting a jack to put the bike up on. And I finally did get it. Now, most guys that are going to be into bikes and doing some of their own work, they already know what these things are. You know, they're not a real fantastic thing. They're not professional type quality or anything like that, but they do serve a purpose. And basically, what I got it for was to I got to take this handle out. It's in the way. Of course, there's a screw that holds it in, but the reason I got this, let me turn a light on in here. I know it's always dark in here till afternoon when the light comes in, but getting the tires off the floor, since it's summertime, I'm not going to be doing a lot of riding, and you know, tires do become, or they do get flat spots on them, which isn't good for the tire, even though I know when they get hot enough, you know, you can run the flat spot out of it, but the minute they cool down, that flat spot returns. So if you have, let me turn this around, if you have good tires on your bike and you're gonna mothball it or whatever, and I know guys that live in an area that has snow or anything like that, you know, or cold freezing temperatures that all winter long they don't ride their bike, and it just you know, it just sits there. Actually, I know guys that cancel their insurance in states that have to have it over the winter time. So you've got a bike sitting there in one spot. Probably get started a couple times if you even remember it. And by the way, it's always a good idea. I mean, I keep a battery tender on my bike all the time when I'm not riding it. It's right over there. Let's see. Yeah, I got one of those little Schumacher battery tenders. So it just plugs into a quick cable disconnect, which also, I've got a pair of heated gloves. Yeah, believe it or not, I got heated gloves in Florida. I used to do a lot more riding, obviously, years ago, and we'd take road trips, you know, the wife and I, and we went up into some cold mountain areas, so I don't use them down here, you know, whatever. Anyway, so the other thing, too, is that a bike just sitting on the springs will weaken the springs over time just because of the weight on it, and they will go down. So, you know, putting it up on a jack stand like this, if you're riding constantly or even once a week, doesn't make any sense. But if you're going to be laying the bike up for months at a time, one of these little jacks is really handy to put the bike up. It's got wheels on it, got casters on it, that you can move the thing around. It's got them up front. Well, you can't really see them here, but and then you got that big lever that I took off. You know, it's got a screw that holds it in. The jack and everything seem to be real good. And now look, this thing costs $90 on eBay. You can go to Harbor Freight and get exactly the same one for $100, which my Harbor Freight did have one, and I just decided, well, a 50-mile round trip to Harbor Freight, and you know, picking it up, $100 and whatever, you know, additional costs there would have been to it. I got on eBay and did a search, and it's exactly the same one, and it was $90, free shipping, which was incredible because the thing weighs 61 pounds. So I got it last night, put it together this morning. Putting it together is no big deal. You just have to put the bottle jack on it with a couple bolts and clip in the safety stop. And by the way, yeah, if you do get one and put the bike on it, remember to lower it so that you're on the lock and you're not holding the bike up with a bottle jack, because the bottle jack will eventually lose pressure, and it's not good for the seals either. So just a little tip here. You know, right now the summertime for me has gotten to where I'm not really concerned about riding. Shit, it's getting tight in here. And basically what you know, I mean, you get to my age, and after 46 years of riding on the road, 47, I forget, you know, and yeah, you kind of take things a little bit easier. You know, I went from hardcore riding on a hardtail, rode from Florida to California. I mean, for a couple of years I had nothing but the bike, you know, on a chopper, and going to the grocery store was fun, and getting caught in the rain and a lot of other things. Went from that to, you know, riding a few times a week, riding it to work occasionally when I worked, and then it came down to, well, riding on the weekends, you know, weekend warrior, and now it's gotten to the point where I don't know what you want to call me anymore, maybe a has-been as opposed to a wannabe. Which a wannabe is what we used to call the sidewalk commandos, that you know, they dressed like bikers, and you know, they didn't own a bike. That was a wannabe, or like I said, a sidewalk commando. So maybe I'm a has-been, but now when the weather turns nicer, I'll probably head out again on the bike and you know, do a little bit more riding. But in the meantime, this is the way you want to go, folks. You know, just a little bit of a tip, and like I said, the $90 for that thing, that's cheaper than a tire, one tire. Now, you know, if you lay the bike up for the winter months or whatever, and you need tires on the bike anyway, yeah, it's no big deal. I mean, you're still dealing with a spring issue, which isn't a big deal either, and you know, it's, I don't know, it just makes more sense. In my case, that tire, or both tires actually, probably don't have 1,000 miles on them, so I'm not going to let it sit there. And like I said, the temperature is just not very fun, and as anybody that rides a Harley knows, these, you know, Evos and twin cams and stuff, they get incredibly hot. Even hotter than the old cast iron big twins, but yeah, it's not real pleasurable anymore. So anyway, just wanted to make a quick one. Of course, it wasn't that quick again, but thought, you know, a little FYI, or do-it-yourself thing. I don't know. Anyway, all right, folks, be good. Talk to you later.